Hi, I'm Roger.
I'm Cindy.
And I'm Brennan.
And we're changing the view.
Hey guys, we've been on the road for 4 weeks now. We've been having a great time.
We've seen many amazing sights just in the short amount of time that we've been on the road, and just learning this whole video process has been quite a learning curve.
He's been doing that part.
And originally when we decided to launch this channel of Changing the View, we were going to be posting more videos than we're doing currently, and we were going to be doing a lot of what we're doing on another channel. In case you've missed it, our son Brennan, our 7-year-old, has a channel called Marks and Parks with Brennan, and it's really on that channel where we're focusing on showing all the sites and reviewing the landmarks and the national parks, and the things that we're seeing are really being highlighted on his channel. So that's where the focus of most of my video editing has been.
So if you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, like he said, Marks and Parks with Brennan, please do that, because he gets really excited when he sees new subscribers. So we would appreciate that.
Yeah, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. He likes to look at those, see how many likes that he's had on those videos. So we've posted probably 4 or 5 on that channel. So please go there and check that out, and you'll get a better idea of our travels to this point.
And so what we're doing today, we thought we would catch you guys up on our adventure so far and talk about how things are going. If you're following Brennan's videos, you already know where we've been. Our video today is going to be a little bit different than that, so stay tuned. We're going to start with our first stop, Auburn.
Auburn. We decided to visit Auburn first because we have a couple of children who are attending Auburn and staying there, so we decided to take a week and visit with them, and in doing so we got to stay at
Chewacla State Park. We were able to camp there and visit with Megan and Nate daily before we left. It was really nice to spend some time with them since we're going to be gone a year. They do plan to travel and see us when we're in California, but we enjoyed our time together. Next, we went to Memphis, Tennessee. Roger is very much into music, so we thought we'd stay a few nights and check out the city.
We had the opportunity to tour Graceland, and my favorite was Sun Studios. If you're not familiar with Sun Studios, go search it up. It's an iconic place in the music world, one of which was the starting of Elvis Presley's career, Yeah, pretty surreal to be in that studio. We were in the exact room, in the exact same spot. They have it marked with an X, with the exact same microphone that he used to make his first recordings early in his career, which launched his career from that studio, as well as many other famous musicians. So it was really cool to tour this studio. I'm going to do a special shout out right now to a friend of ours. I won't mention any names, but a friend of ours who hooked us up with free tickets to Graceland and Tucson Studios. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, it was great. Brennan learned a lot. We learned a lot about Elvis, and Brennan really seemed to enjoy it, so that was a great time. We stayed at Graceland's RV park, which was right next door to the museum. That was very convenient. And one thing that stands out about Memphis to me, which this is probably not the greatest thing, they need to work on their roads. That was pretty rough.
Yeah, at least in the sections and the roads that we took, the roads were in great need of repair. Especially Elvis Presley Boulevard, which runs right in front of Graceland, was horrid. It was a rough road. And even coming into Memphis,
Right.
like I say, the route that we took was pretty rough.
But we did enjoy touring Graceland. That was pretty awesome. And we had a nice time there. We were only there a few days. And then next we went to Osage Beach, Missouri. We like to travel in small chunks, about 4 to 5 hours of travel time, and there's usually an hour and a half or so that we add to it because we're pulling the 36-foot RV. So that's why we choose small times of travel.
Yeah, and we have plenty of time. We're not in a hurry, so we needed a spot between Memphis and
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore being one of our main destinations. So we chose Missouri, the Ozark Mountain area. Osage Beach is where we decided to stop off and spend a few days.
We enjoyed the Lake of the Ozarks. We toured, or we hiked to the remains of a castle at Ha Ha Tonka State Park. If you're interested in how that...
What was that name again?
Ha Ha Tonka. If you're interested in where the name came from, you can watch one of Brennan's videos.
Check it out.
Because he tells you all about it. We also visited Bridal Cave. That was pretty awesome. One of the most beautiful caves in the country is what we were told.
That's what we were told. It was Brennan's first time in a cave, and some of the people that were along with us on the tour had mentioned that they had been in several caves, and they said this was one of the better ones that they had been in.
So it didn't disappoint. It was a good time.
And Cindy did real well in the cave. She
not at first.
Doesn't really do well in
I
tight
don't like small spaces.
places, dark spaces.
But after you squeeze through the very beginning, I was okay after that.
Yeah.
I almost went back the other way, but I pushed through, made it. So after Osage Beach, we needed a stop between Osage Beach, Missouri and Rapid City, South Dakota. So I chose Sioux City, Iowa. And since it was a one-night stop, I chose an inexpensive state park.
Trying to do things on the cheap, save a little money.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be about a 6-hour drive from Osage Beach to Sioux City. It turned out to be 10 hours that we were on the road. We were very exhausted. There were detours due to flooding, damaged roads, and
Many delays.
Yeah, we were tired. We were very tired. So our GPS took us down a very bumpy gravel road for a very long time once we got into Iowa. Didn't think we were ever going to reach the state park. When we did reach the state park, we saw tent campers. And we saw our very small spot. And of course it was after hours, so there was no one to talk to. We thought we might just see if there was another spot that was larger ourselves. We didn't see anything.
So it's about dark, mind you,
Yeah.
and we're exhausted. Tiny state park, beautiful, but very small and really not made for 36-foot fifth wheels.
And Roger said he was going to have a really difficult time, so I suggested that we go up the little hill and come around and try to back in from the other direction. So he listened to me, and we got to the top of the hill, and there was no room to turn around with that camper. So he had to back all the way down the hill back to our spot, and he did it like a champ. He got it in there. It was really tight, but he fit it in there perfectly.
Hopefully the greatest challenge that I'll face on this journey as far as backing in a fifth wheel in a spot, because it was teeny-tiny.
He was not very happy, so I've learned my lesson. We'll do more extensive research on every park that we stay in and make sure that it is big rig friendly. But he did it, and it was great, and we slept. We had no water. We only had electric hookup. It was a 30 amp, so we could only run part of our electrical.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It was just one night stay.
Yeah, we got up early.
We pretty much just crashed and head out at daybreak, really.
There. Yeah, no cell signal, no water. It was almost roughing it.
Almost.
So we got up the next morning and headed out toward South Dakota.
Okay, so on to South Dakota. We're leaving Iowa. We are heading through South Dakota, east to west. I think it was on Interstate, was it 90?
I think so.
That took us literally from the east border to the west side of South Dakota. The scenery was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful, beautiful state.
The drive was so much better than our previous drive with all the detours, and
well deserved, we think.
yeah, it was an easy travel day.
Yeah, it was nice roads, it was nice weather, beautiful scenery.
And we stayed at Rushmore Shadows. It was a really nice resort. We enjoyed that. We saw a few beautiful sights while we were there. We visited Bear Country, which was right down the road from Rushmore Shadows.
Suggested by Gran and Pa. Shout out to Gran and Pa for suggesting that.
We enjoyed it very much.
Bear Country, if you're ever in the Mount Rushmore area,
Yeah.
check it out.
And seeing Mount Rushmore itself was surreal. I know I said that on my Facebook post, but it really was. I teach about this landmark every year to my third graders, and now I have a personal experience to share with them. We hiked the Presidential Trail while we were there to get some good pictures.
We're big on hiking. We're big hikers. No, not really. We go for the easy, flat, paved type of trails when we hike,
Yeah.
and we don't like for them to be very long.
So
But
this
this
was a half mile, and it
wasn't bad.
was had steps, which
Quite a few steps, but it
it
wasn't
was
bad.
a little challenging, especially if you're out of shape. But other than that, we also visited Custer State Park. We had to take a beautiful drive over Iron Mountain.
Very nice.
A little scary, but
Beautiful, beautiful drive.
yeah, I get a little scary when my side of the truck is on the side that could fall off the cliff. So I get a little nervous, but I love being in the mountains. I just afraid of heights. Did we do anything else? Oh, we saw the Presidential Wax Museum. We took a quick little tour through that because we were going to see Mount Rushmore being lit up that night.
So the visit of the museum, the Wax Museum of all the presidents, sparked some interest in Brennan, and in particular scenes, one of which was the 9/11. So we used that as a launching point, a teachable moment. So we're currently doing some research on 9/11 and teaching him about why that happened. He was real curious as to, you know, what happened and why, and
why people would do that.
Yeah. So it was a good, like I said, a launching pad for some learning.
Yeah. So on from South Dakota, we came to the beautiful state of Wyoming.
This is where we are now.
Where we are now.
Yeah, we're in the beautiful state of Wyoming. As you can see behind us, see those beautiful mountains. At this current campground, we are at Yellowstone Valley Inn RV Park. We're about 30 miles from the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park. And this scenery is 360 all the way around us. So we have really enjoyed our stay here. It's a nice park. It's quite different than what we're used to camping in. Like, there's no trees.
It's gravel.
And very little grass. It's just mostly gravel. And it's been quite windy here most days.
Wyoming is windy.
A little different, but
cold.
the country here is just unreal. It's like you're in a different world. It's so beautiful.
And cold. Today is the first day that it has not been cold, although the wind is kicking up right now, so I may need to get my jacket. But
well, when we say cold,
surprised.
we're saying lows in the 40s in the morning and highs in the 60s usually.
But it's
been interesting. Here it's much warmer, but when you drive into the national park, it is much colder than it is here. I learned that the first day. I wore shorts into the park and just took a hoodie with me. That wasn't nearly enough clothing. It was cold when you get up in those mountains. So lesson learned. In the national park, it's much colder.
But here in Wyoming, we visited Devil's Tower, which is our nation's first monument, and we have visited Yellowstone, which is our nation's first national park. Yellowstone is absolutely amazing. We stayed in there 3 days, morning till late.
Full
in the
days,
evening.
yeah.
Yeah, we were getting home almost bedtime.
And we still didn't see everything.
But we did see some amazing things, and we are going to be sharing that on Brennan's video, and we'll share some footage on this video as well.
We tried to hit all the highlights of Yellowstone, all the suggested points of interest. We saw tons of wildlife. We saw bear, elk, buffalo.
We saw a moose.
Well, the story on the moose, we had been looking for a moose for 3 days in there, and a lot of people, even the park rangers, said that you rarely see moose in here, so if you sight one, it's a special thing. So we're on our way out yesterday, or late yesterday afternoon, we're on our way out, and we are about 100 yards from the exit of the national park, and we spotted a moose. So we were extremely excited because it was like our last day in there, the very last moments of us leaving, and we didn't actually spot it. Anytime there's cars gathered, you know something has been sighted, some type of wildlife. And in most cases, in these 3 days, it had been bison.
Yeah.
Bison are abundant. You see them all the time. So we had gotten to the point where, oh yeah, it's a bison, let's move on. So we weren't thinking this was much to it. We pull up there, Cindy spots it, and she's like, it's a moose, it's a moose. So there's not really a place to pull over. So we find a spot to pull the truck over and run over and get a few pictures, but we were very excited to finally have spotted the moose.
Yes.
So yeah, the videos for all these locations and these events and activities and spots are going to be on Marks and Parks with Brennan. We'll link that at the end of this video. Again, we encourage you to go there and to check out the videos and follow along with our adventure.
And we appreciate those of you who've been watching so far. We plan to not wait 4 weeks before we make another one. We'll try to update before 4 weeks, hopefully. And we'll see you next time
On
Changing the View.